Bryan Gaiser is an investment advisor representative of Advisory Alpha LLC, an SEC-registered investment advisor. All opinions expressed by Bryan Gaiser are solely his own opinions and do not reflect the opinions of Advisory Alpha. This recording is for informational purposes only and should not be relied upon for investment decisions. Investment advisory and financial planning services offered through Advisory Alpha LLC, a registered investment advisor. Insurance, coaching, and educational services offered through Gaiser Financial Group. Gaiser Financial Group is a separate and unaffiliated entity of Advisory Alpha LLC. While tax and legal services may be discussed in the general course of financial and investment planning, Advisory Alpha does not provide tax or legal services. Please consult with your tax or legal professional prior to making decisions related to these issues. This material is not endorsed or approved by the Social Security Office or any other government agency. An annuity is a long-term financial product designed largely for asset accumulation and retirement needs. All guarantees are backed by the claims-paying ability of the issuing insurance company. All opinions expressed by externally cited sources are solely their own opinions and do not reflect the opinions of Advisory Alpha. This is for informational purposes only and should not be relied upon for investment decisions. The case studies presented reflects the specific circumstances of one client and should not be considered a guarantee that another client or potential client may experience the same or certain level of results. This is for informational purposes only and should not be construed as investment recommendations or solicitation. Names have been changed to protect the anonymity of clients and are not testimonials in nature. Learn, grow, and take charge of your retirement. This is the Wealth Thru Wisdom podcast with financial advisor Bryan Gaiser, founder of Gaiser Financial Group.
Bryan, I don't have to explain to you, so many people are reaching out to you, calling you because they are looking for guidance in the space. It's not just about financial guidance anymore either. When it comes to our retirement, I mean, we have to change almost everything we know about money for this next phase of our financial life.
Well, you don't see a pediatrician anymore.
No, you sure don't. You sure
Things
don't.
change, right, as we evolve.
Yeah.
50 is a whole lot different than 30.
Yep.
And so on and so forth. And everybody listening knows that as well.
Yep.
And it really just boils down to, you got to get educated in this area. When it comes to retirement, you can't invest the same way you did when the money's coming in. Now, all of a sudden, you're starting to pull from that money. That causes a whole different, another area where you're going to have to slay a lot of lions or what have you. It's unknown territory.
It is.
It's a situation where you really got to step up to the plate and go, wait a minute, things are different. How do I invest for retirement? How do I invest to withdraw from my money? Where do I withdraw from my money? And that's where coaching comes in.
That's right. That's why you are here, sir.
Big difference between a coach and an advisor. An advisor is going to be all about your money, growing your money. That's a big part of it. But when you get to the point where you're about to retire or in retirement, now it's here's how you distribute it and grow it. And it's a whole different world.
That's exactly what I wanted to ask you about, because most everybody at this point, particularly folks that are listening to us here on WPTI today, these are people that they've heard about what a financial advisor is. And a lot of people are familiar with the idea of financial advice that you get during your growth years, during your 30s and your 40s. Now, there's a flip side of that. Some might have heard of a financial coach. Here's the difference. Licensed financial advisors, they tend to concentrate on the things you're thinking about, things like saving for retirement, stock investments, those kinds of things. Financial coaches often usually focus on things like somebody who's in a lot of debt and they need help paying that debt. How do I get through that? Determining my goals for the future, financial educating, but they can't give investment advice. They are not licensed to do so. You, sir, you are licensed to give the financial advice when it comes to investing. Exactly. So there was an article on Morningstar.com talking about how financial advisors should evolve themselves in their field and include services that basically combine the advice and the coaching, bring all that together to the table. I think that even more so for our retirement years, Bryan, and this is exactly what you do. Talk about that. How do you coach people through this next phase?
Well, it's a big transition, number one. So you're transitioning into retirement. You don't want to retire. You want to transition. Okay. You want to have that little decompressed period. But things come up that you're not expecting and kind of give you a bigger story about it. When it comes to something really big happening. A year into retirement with this couple that I'd worked with for 4 or 5 years before they retired, got them all set up, everything. We went through the scenarios, and one of the grim scenarios, what if something happens to one of the two of us? Okay. Well, guess what? Something happened to one of the two of them. Came in for a meeting, was going to the doctor at my office. And it was just a quick meeting. Here's what we've got. Here's what we're doing. Here's where you draw your income. We switch Social Security. We're just kind of doing a review, making sure we're not taking too much risk. And this just a couple of years ago, and he had said, not even a couple of years ago, but he said, yeah, I'm going to the doctor. Just can't get rid of this pain in my stomach. Turned out to be pancreatic cancer. That was in October. He was gone by early January, right?
Wow.
Totally blew his wife's mind, right? Who I've been working with ever since.
Yeah.
But the one thing she said gave her comfort is she knew what to do if something happened to him. One, she came in to see me, and we restructured. We turned on an additional income stream to cover the Social Security that was just lost. The joint pension continued for them. We created a joint pension for them through an annuity as well.
Okay.
So that's what the plan was, that I knew I was going to be all right, Bryan. I knew I was going to have surplus income in retirement still, even if something happened to my husband.
Yeah.
And something did happen. It was very quick, totally unexpected, obviously. And now, needless to say, you still have your emotional aspect when you lose your spouse of many, many, many years, and they've been married for over 40 years. That is part of it, but knowing, she said, the comfort given that I don't have to worry about my finances because he always took care of that.
Yeah.
Gave her tremendous comfort knowing that I'll be all right.
Yeah.
I'll be all right. It was like that little glimmer of hope that she had to move through.
Yeah.
And that's the way we build a plan. So when you come in, we're not just building that plan, hey, here's how you can get through the next 5 years. But I do like to stage it with goals of, hey, in the next 5 years, we should be here, 10, 15, right?
Okay.
Then we back up and we reverse engineer, if you will.
Okay.
And work our way out of that. Showing people that visual, hey, in 5 years, if we can just earn 4 or 5%, my goal is, if you can earn 4 or 5% and be okay, that gives you a lot of comfort too.
Right.
What we do in that 1 hour in our office, that full review, let's look at what you're doing. And if we tweaked a few things, and if you had better understanding on life events and how to handle them, that's the big payoff of coming in at no cost, no obligation to the. So it's a way where you can go, well, if this happens, then I know this is how we're going to take care of it. If this happens, then I know this is how we're going to take care of it. Instead of it being a mystery and something gets, sprung on you and you don't know what to do.
Right. Well, of course, we don't want mysteriousness. The last thing in the world we want in retirement is mysteriousness of any kind. Life happens.
The unknown.
The unknown. That's right. That's what so many people are afraid of. Life does happen. Things can be sprung upon us, but knowing that you have a plan to rise up to meet you in that space, to give you that financial backbone to stand on, that is the goal of every plan that Bryan and his team build and are here for you as well. If you have questions, if you are looking for coaching for retirement to understand not just the financial aspects, but there's so many emotional aspects that are involved, this is what Bryan and his team are here to help you with. 336-586-5861. Let's dive more into this whole coaching idea, because I know you're a coach on and off the field, Bryan, because you've coached athletics in your life. You were saying you coach soccer. You have a lot of experience in this space. But one of the points you made to me when we were talking off the air about the idea of why you love coaching so much and why you feel you've had success with coaching is because you will see somebody that may be struggling in a space and you start working on them with little things at a time. Because I think that might be a big reason that so many people avoid this retirement planning process. It's like taking a sip from a fire hydrant. They are way too overwhelmed. It's too much to handle. So how do you break things down in this coaching process and simplify it for people?
First thing we talk about, where do you want to go? What do you think your retirement should look like?
Yeah.
What's your purpose in retirement? It's all about purpose, all of us, purpose-driven life, if you will.
Yeah.
And so once they say, this is my purpose, I want to see the grandkids, and they kind of give me an idea of what they want their money to do for them, then we reverse engineer back. Well, this is what you have. Here's the amount of risk you're taking. Here's the income streams you have. Here's the shortfalls. Here's where you're doing really good over here. You're taking too much risk over here. We kind of go through and we just dissect what they're doing. Will that get to where you want to be? Mm-hmm. And then we work from there and work our way forward, right? And then we look at it from a risk review standpoint, make sure that we reduce the risk if necessary. Some people taking not enough risk, believe it or not, out there. Everything's under their mat, so to speak, and it has that mindset.
We've got $500,000 and it's all in cash.
And in the money market, right? It's in my money market, and I feel better that way. It's getting 1%, and it's like, well, you're going backwards whether you know it or not. So you can get, too conservative, and you want to do things. If you know that every month an X amount of dollars is going to come in, and it's more than what you need to spend, in other words, surplus income, then That gives you peace of mind. Once you have surplus income in retirement, then you invest the rest. That's where the growth pot comes from.
Okay.
And make sure you have a good fat rainy day fund too.
Okay.
I think that's very important. Make sure you have a good chunk of cash on hand, just not $500,000 in a money market. So those kind of variables. So that's what we do. We look at it from the most simplest form. It's like when I was coaching soccer.
Yeah.
My forwards, my goal scorers and what have you, the only thing they should ever look at when they're playing soccer is the back of the net when they take a shot. You don't look at the goalie, you look at the back of the net. You're more likely to hit what you look at. If you look at the goalie, you're going to start putting it too close to the goalie, and you're not going to score. So I'd get them on simple terms. Hey, back of the net, back of the net, back of the net. Surplus income, surplus income, surplus income. Well, with my guys, when the younger teams, especially 14 and under, when I would coach them on a defensive side, there was one major thing you never forget. And what that would be is never let the ball be in the middle of the field when you're on defense. Always put it out to the side. It's much harder to score from the outside.
Okay.
Well, managing money is not much different.
Okay.
Make sure you have surplus income in retirement. Make sure you know what you're going to do when big events happen in life, like we talked about just a few minutes ago. What is your plan for the big event? Right?
Yeah.
Hope it never happens, but it's going to happen. We are mortal. So it's that kind of thing. So if we can build a plan around that right there, Heather, that's the key to having a successful plan. But how do you do that? You got to reverse engineer what you're currently doing.
Okay.
So we just come in, we look at it, do a risk review, do a full assessment, if you will, of what you're doing, and then say, look, here's how you can tweak it and take care of a lot of problems that could arrive in the future.
Helping you to avoid problems because of simple financial missteps, so that when things do arise, you can go into that space with confidence, knowing that you have a plan in place that is there to help support you through all these years ahead. This second phase of your financial life is one that should be an exciting time, one that you look forward to, and having that financial plan in place is one that's going to help you look forward to it all that much more. And Bryan and his team ready to help you begin that process. Our number to dial, 336-586-5861. I'm Heather Branch on behalf of Bryan and his team. We appreciate you having spent some of your weekend here with us on Wealth Thru Wisdom.
Folks, thanks for tuning in today. True genius is using wisdom to simplify the complicated. Let's simplify your retirement.
Thanks for listening to the Wealth Thru Wisdom podcast. To learn more, visit gaiserfinancial.com. Bryan Gaiser is an investment advisor representative of Advisory Alpha LLC, an SEC-registered investment advisor. All opinions expressed by Bryan Gaiser are solely his own opinions and do not reflect the opinions of Advisory Alpha. This recording is for informational purposes only and should not be relied upon for investment decisions. Investment advisory and financial planning services offered through Advisory Alpha LLC, a registered investment advisor. Insurance, coaching, and educational services offered through Gaiser Financial Group. Gaiser Financial Group is a separate and unaffiliated entity of Advisory Alpha LLC. While tax and legal services may be discussed in the general course of financial and investment planning, Advisory Alpha does not provide tax or legal services. Please consult with your tax or legal professional prior to making decisions related to these issues. This material is not endorsed or approved by the Social Security Office or any other government agency. An annuity is a long-term financial product designed largely for asset accumulation and retirement needs. All guarantees are backed by the claims-paying ability of the issuing insurance company. All opinions expressed by externally cited sources are solely their own opinions and do not reflect the opinions of Advisory Alpha. This is for informational purposes only and should not be relied upon for investment decisions. The case studies presented reflects the specific circumstances of one client and should not be considered a guarantee that another client or potential client may experience the same or certain level of results. This is for informational purposes only and should not be construed as investment recommendations or solicitation. Names have been changed to protect the anonymity of clients and are not testimonials in nature.